Yu-Gi-Oh cards start in one place. It doesn't matter if you buy the singles. They begin in a booster pack. In 2020, Konami made one of the worst moves with Yu-Gi-Oh product, and perhaps it was due to the COVID era where foil was less accessible, but we got collector rare deck building sets. It started with a world premiere set, Toon Chaos, where we ended up with TCG exclusives at the time, and then it has since become one of the worst models we have ever seen for Yu-Gi-Oh product, and I'm going to prove that throughout this video. If you are a Konami employee and you are watching, I highly urge you to try to speak up and fix these products because it's better for everybody. The player base, the stores, as well as yourself for future products. This is Crossover Breakers, and people are extremely excited for the Malice archetype inside. However, they've made a change to this product that is almost being received like a magician's sleight of hand trick of misdirection, and I'm going to explain that because my job is, in a sense, to break down product and tell my audience if I would consider the sealed or singles or how I would approach something. So down in the product description, they've made a change to this set from previous ones. They will have 10 ultra rares, 10 super rare locked cards, and then 40 rares also available as super rare upgrades. And of course, things in these slots could become collector rare as well. So when it comes down to it, these super rare upgrades, oh my gosh, we've been asking for foil upgrades, yay, hooray, are actually inflating the pull of super rares to where it is now harder to get these 10 super rare locked cards versus the previous sets, such as Wild Survivors, where there were 15 total super rares. I am a big fan of foil upgrades, but you have to remember what these sets actually took from us. All foil side sets. These have been selling terribly, and I will show that throughout, because of the pull ratio specifically, and it not being worth revisiting these products unless it takes off extremely well in the metagame for multiple decks over time, and then the cards become necessary because of the amount out there already being low because stores have been ordering less of these. I really like deck building sets. I love the archetypes and building inside, and when it comes down to it, people are receiving this as if it's some kind of reach towards the OCG model. No, it's not. It is specifically making the archetypal super rares inside harder to get if they take up that slot, and if there's any short printing within these 10 super rares, you're going to be looking at basically another ultra rare, which is exactly what's killing these sets because you only get 3 ultras on average per box by Konami standards, unless something deeply changes. People are also taking this to mean that mayhaps there's going to be extra holos pulled. Nowhere in this entire thing does it state that anywhere. It says that there are super rare upgrades, not cards are upgraded in your pack to super rare, and we have seen Konami be explicit with that before. Here we see in the actual set description, and I will go to the webpage, 1 foil card per pack. And here we see, again, on the live page, 1 foil card per pack. Now, set name and contents are subject to change. I'm super down to eat my words if they do end up upgrading the extra foils within the pack, but as of now, it states nothing like that, and we can see with Konami's history, here is Rarity Collection screen capped on how they explain it. There's a special change. Whoa, jackpot, luxury rares. Here's your odds of upgrades and them appearing in your packs. They go out of their way to break down and explain every single change in the model while bringing one of the only sets to truly bring the OCG model to the TCG, which is why this was a smash hit and sold out. So, Scarlon gets tons of hate that is undeserved and sent their way very often. Do not harass them for their takes and views on this, but in replies to me, did say something along the lines of that this is not enough to determine that there won't be foil upgrades. That's like guilty until proven innocent, in my opinion, where it is explicitly stated right now, 1 foil card per pack, and it doesn't state any of these changes. So on to what they took from us before and ratios thereof. This is a middle of the ground all foil side set pre-2020 Infinity Chasers. We had a rogue archetype inside, the Infinitrax, which took off and didn't take down events but was topping events. It had another rogue deck that almost could top an Evil Eye, and then a Duel Links fan favorite in Witchcrafter. And look at the box price over time, $119, because people really ended up revisiting the product because there's only 3 to 4 short prints inside the secret rares here, and with that there's 20 different secret rares and 24 cards a pack. I'm sure you're already doing the math. The secret rare pool is less than what's in an entire box, rather than 10 ultra rares, but you're only seeing 3 a box. It's very inverse to where every single ultra rare is essentially the old school secret rare short print for just a couple of cards, and now it's that 10 card pool. And again, why I'm so upset is, if anything is short print in the super rare pool, it may be as well another ultra rare. And I'm very passionate about this. I'm going to stumble through this a bit, but I'm going to try to break down the math for you all as best as possible too. So with super rares, there's usually around 40 in the super rare pool here, and you get 4 super rares a pack. And in 24 packs divided by that 40 pool, you're almost seeing a full play set of the super rares in every single box. You have the option on almost every other card to see a full playset of those. Of course there's RNG involved. Of course there's different sheets and cuts and clumping and things that can affect product. But on average, it was worth revisiting these products even for chances at the super rares when buying these boxes. And you can see some of them did age well over time before some of their reprints. You have Dark Saviors, which is around $185 still for a box. People loved OG Sky Strikers despite all those different rarity upgrades. This box was opened oh so much that it made it more look forward to for the reprints, which would sell another product, Konami. And then you also have For Hire. People actually liked that deck. And then really cool holo upgrades to stuff like Toon Table of Contents, which you would have to get a tournament pack super rare. Fusion Enforcers, I love bringing this one up, $300 a box. Macabre was about in every other box. It wasn't egregiously short printed. It was middle of the road. Every other box about, you were seeing one. That was really cool, in my opinion, and people were trying to build Invoked within a rogue deck for the metagame, Fright for a fan favorite. You didn't need the waifu tax to sell this set. Congratulations. Now we look at the collector rare sets. Here's the very first inception of a deck building set. It has Live Twins, a fan favorite. It has Drytron, which was crushing in the metagame. And yet, look at the box. $40. This is 3.5 years old now, and it is still rotting on store shelves and an inventory today for people. And Live Twins are popular enough to get merchandise such as plushies and actual figures, statues of them even. It blows my mind that the alter arts even helped sell a set in the OCG, and I guess they're too spicy to bring over without some heavy editing here. I feel like when it comes down to it, this being the first one should have been alarm bells already with how it aged, and it really never peaked, I believe, too far over $50. Here's Amazing Defenders, which was worth revisiting for Rescue Ace after Purely was good and then Purely became good again. In fact, this is one of the most expensive cards, both the Hydrant as well as Purely at one point, that have appeared within these sets for archetypal non-engine cards. $40 a box or less, rotting on shelves once again. I think it peaked, I want to say, around 60, but the graph actually says, yeah, 65 is about where it was able to peak after coming out that, oh yeah, we kind of need those cards and there's not many of them. And then it just rotted back over time. Then you have Grand Creators, which did have the Adventure Token engine, under $40 a box, rotting on shelves. Here's Tactical Masters. Runic is still being played today. Labyrinth is a huge fan favorite. And then you have Staples, collector rared out the wazoo in here. $35 or less a box. Wild Survivors did something pretty egregious. They made 7 of the archetypal cards for Versus ultra rare, and that could actually compete. They even made an ultimate rare out of their Link 1. And then you had Dinosaur, huge fan favorite here, hollowed up into collector rares. Now, collector rares have fallen out a little thanks to Rarity Collection offering prismatic collector rares and turning even some collector rares that were already collector rared into prismatic collector rares and them being extremely comparable. However, there are still people that go for collector rares, and I think there's an obvious solution. I'm not just here to complain, but when you see all of your sets doing this, and stores are unable to sell them, and then the value of cards of reprints are not there as much as you would like, you would think you would turn around to a model that is almost flawless in terms of how it aged and almost always sold out for stores, and that's this. I don't know if you have problems sourcing the holographic pages, but I'm here to tell you something you want to hear. The community would pay a little more per pack, just like Rarity Collection, in order to get an all-foil side set. Again, up at $1 or something if it affects your bottom line. Both stores and players would go for that, because the first thing that really hurts these products is the ratios that you have implemented. When we are looking at, 20 secret rares in the pool, and secret looks better than almost any rarity, and maybe you're scared to put collector rares next to them or give some kind of special chase against them, I don't understand, again, the reasoning for taking this away, but when you have 20 different secret rares, right, and you're only shorting 3 to 4 of them, but we're going to generalize here, and you're getting 24 per box out of a 12-box case, and we divide that by the 20 pool, we're looking at 14 some odd of the secret rares, and if something ages well, that means the product is worth revisiting. But when we have 10 different ultra rares, right, and we are only pulling 3 ultra rares per freaking box, and then we're looking at a 12-box case and dividing by that pool of 10, we're barely pulling half of an extra of each ultra rare per 12-box case, and boxes aren't cheap unless they rot on shelves and nobody's making money. What you all did with taking that away may have been due to the times, to making holographic cards harder to get. But Rarity Collection has proven it can be done, and it can be done at a premium, which again, you may want to hear. When it comes down to the aging of almost every single deck building set like this, it's great. Maybe keep the world premiere sets as are. They're doing okay for themselves, but they may age like milk after their reprints. We'll have to wait and see. But the fact that every single deck building all foil set aged like fine wine, created in-demand cards, which is the one argument the player base can have for it being worse, is that, man, these cards like Engage were so hard to get because the product was so in demand that it was flying off shelves and disappearing. You're talking about a good problem for pretty much everybody except for a fan of the deck who didn't go in early and watch the price rise on the cards. And then there's the egregious short printing in Secret Forces where, the Necros stuff was super short printed, kind of similar to Evil Bane and Malicious Bane and Evil Hero, a Dusted Gold out of the Immortal Destiny. But that's a Duelist pack, and that's a whole other can of worms that they need to fix after Legendary Duelist, right? Let's not get too ahead of ourselves and focus here. It's deck building sets that need fixing. And the change was the worst thing to ever happen to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Product line that has been nothing but successful. I really hope that you listen. I hope that there is some kind of change. And personally, with all these takes that are saying this could be a big deal, this could be them testing the waters of OCG-style products, comparing it to OCG-style products, it's nothing like that. It's actually increasing the ratios, which are already killing these products and making them worth not revisiting. That is exactly what's happening. So that's my take on it, and I really hope that there's some kind of fix on these products in the future, and the proof is there on the secondary market for how it affects storefronts and how it affects the player base too that even goes in for the cards, and the amount of cards that are out there that led to something like Amazing Defenders temporarily spiking and fixing itself, because none of these are aging like anything but sour milk. Thanks for watching.